everybody, this is Krista and Tom Shirley with Throne Builders.
Hey there.
How y'all doing? Oh,
We're doing good.
I didn't get an answer.
A couple people said they were doing good.
This is really weird talking to a screen. I'd rather be talking to you guys in person, but I'm sure that'll happen one of these days. So anyways, this is our prophetic word for December
17th through the 23rd.
I can never get this right.
Believe it or not, we rehearsed that part.
Isn't that sad? Oh well, I guess that's why I need Tom. So anyways, I just want to jump in with the prophetic word for today, actually for the next week. I was asking the Lord this morning to highlight to me what should I say to you guys, and I really felt strongly that He wanted me to share something with you that He taught me this week. It's been going on for probably years, but He kind of put a whole new light on it this week. So for several years now, it probably goes back further than that, but God has been showing Tom and I and some of our other friends and even our family that there are things in our lives that we wanted to see happen. Like everybody's different, right? We all have different dreams, desires that we want to see these things happen in our life, but we've been waiting for sometimes even years and still haven't seen, what we want to see in these things. So God's been showing me though that right now, the time we're in right now, it is a very special time because God has been, it's like He's been giving us hints and clues all along the journey, and it's not like we haven't heard His voice or anything like that, but sometimes, and I was just talking to somebody on the phone about this, sometimes when God tells us something, we don't really get it. Like it goes in, but then our heart kind of just holds on to it and we don't really get it. But then He'll use somebody else, so usually a complete stranger. He might use a movie. He could use anything to talk to us, because I know I see God everywhere and He talks to me all the time. But here's the interesting thing is, in fact, I posted this on Facebook this week. I said, have you ever had something happen to you where you keep hearing the same message over and over and over again, but it's coming through different people? And then finally on one of those times, you're like, oh, I get it. God, I know what you've been trying to tell me. And I'm being a little bit facetious here, but not really, because that's what I've encountered and experienced, and it's frustrating, because I'm like, well, I could have done that 3 years ago, so it's frustrating. So I know some of you can relate to this, but right now in the season we're in, God really is trying to restore all things to us, and that's not just in one area of life, that's in all areas of life. So God has been showing us these clues, these signs, and He's been showing us that if we will grab onto the things He's shown us to do and do them, they will work. Amen. Okay, some of you are getting probably a resonation right now in your body, like God's probably reminding some of you right now, oh, that's what it was that I needed to do, and then I never did that because, I got discouraged or I got depressed or whatever. But I'm telling you right now, God He's activating this in our lives. I won't go into detail, but there's a specific thing that God showed me this week that He used another complete stranger to tell me, just out of the blue, and it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I'm like, oh, that's what you've been saying to me. That really will yield the results I'm looking for, but I've got to be willing now to obey and sacrifice and do this thing, because I'm going to see results. I'm going to be able to do what you've called me to do. So you guys all have your own issues and out there, and you know what it is for you. Ask God to highlight that to you, or maybe you need some more strangers coming to you and kind of, knocking on your head or whatever, because God does that. He likes to do that for His children. So another thing He showed me that kind of ties in, I think everything He gave me today it all ties in as one big message. I was swimming in the pool today, which is something I haven't done in years. I haven't got to swim in a pool in a very long time, so I enjoyed it. And I was floating in the pool. I was, how when you're floating, the only thing that sticks out of the water is your face, and you just kind of let go and just try to relax as much as you can. Well, as I was floating, I was looking up through the screen, which you can see behind us, and I was seeing the clouds, and they were just kind of passing by, and it was really pretty. And then all of a sudden the Lord spoke to me, and He told me that as you let my presence, because a lot of times water represents the Holy Spirit, water represents God's presence. The Lord was just showing me that as you let my presence carry you, He said, the sky is going to be the limit for you. There's going to be no limit. Because think about it. When you're on your back and you're looking up at the sky, that's all you can see. You can only see the sky. And you see that there's no limitations at that point. But when we're out of God's presence and we're not floating with Him, and we're not flowing in His presence and letting Him carry us through in that rest mode that Tom and I have talked about a lot in the past, we can't really see that the sky, there is no limit, right? We can't see the sky. So it just really tied in strongly with me that all of these things I just shared with you all go together, these three things, that as you step out to start to do these things that God's called you to do, and these light bulb moments you've had, and you say, well, I don't know if I can do that. Yes, you can. There's grace for you right now. I promise you, there's grace for you. These things that God's been showing you, you need to take a step. Take a step, because God will give you the second step if you'll take the first. And if you will just stay in his presence and float with him and let his presence carry you, there is going to be no limitations. The sky is the limit. There is no limits.
Amen.
So be encouraged, because this is exactly what's happening with us, and it's going to happen to you too. Amen. So I get a little passionate about these things because it's true. It's all true.
And that's awesome, because that lines up. We don't rehearse these. We've said that repeatedly. We don't like talk about what we're going to share. We each seek the Lord, and then we come together. It's always exciting to see how they seem to fit together and apply to a basic concept. And just wanted to kind of piggyback off of what she was saying about how so often, right, we're like, God, where's the answer? But we need to really pay attention to the answers.
Yes.
I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Bruce Almighty with Jim Carrey. Not only is it a very funny movie, but just very profound spiritual truths in this movie, you know. And but there's a scene in the movie where Jim Carrey plays a guy. The guy, his name is Bruce in the movie, and he's really angry with God, really just angry with life in general, but really puts it all on God. And he's sitting there praying. He's driving down the road. He's like, God, give me a sign, give me a sign. And this huge construction truck pulls out right in front of him. I mean, just cuts him off. And there's 50 signs in there. And they're all lit up, all the flashing lights and everything. And he gets angry at the truck, and he goes around and he getting around the truck, and there's all those signs. He just asked for it.
Totally missed it.
And we all do that. We ask for signs. We ask for God to show us steps to take, teach us, give us understanding. But the way that he chooses to do it is actually designed to build character and maturity in us. So he builds concepts and ideas. Just like when you go to grade school, you're getting these basic fundamental ideas, and then they build on each other to get you to a place where you can, you get your high school diploma or whatever, just as an example. But God's giving and building things for you, and there's a reason why he gives it step by step, line upon line, precept upon precept, because he's trying to build it in us. And that's we don't like to hear that. We just talked to someone on the phone today and reminded them of a story years ago, and God said, I'm more interested in building it in you than giving what you're asking. I'd rather you just give me what I'm asking. But he wants to build it for maturity.
And why is that? That's because if it's built inside of us, then when we actually get what we ask for, we can actually enjoy it. We can actually use it to help other people and use our, help ourselves. But if we, if we don't go through that process of God building the inside of us, then we're just going to be kind of like spoiled brats. We're not going to understand the process and all the things that we needed to learn, and all those things in that process that will change us and to make us into the people we're supposed to be. We would have had missed all of that. If God just said, okay, I'll just give you what you want, And so one more thing I want to add to what Tom, because I'm sure he has something else, but I wanted to interject it earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt him, was I've been saying this now for about a year, and now I know why I'm saying it, and some of you will understand this when I say it, but sometimes the very thing you've been looking for has been right in front of you all along. And that has been so true of our situation in some ways. I'm not saying that's true in every case, but like Tom's talking about the illustration from the movie, those signs were right in front of him. And he could have seen that, but for some reason he couldn't have seen it. You see what I'm saying? So when we start to actually see what God's been showing to us, then we kind of awaken to that reality that, hey, I can do this. I can take these steps. And by the way, I promise you that when you take those steps out of obedience and out of a grateful heart, God is going to back you up. He's not going to let you fail.
That's right.
So
what I got from the Lord this morning, very short, and just going to share it with you quickly. I went to the Lord and said, Father, what's the word for this week? I heard the eagle has landed. And that's a statement many of you might be familiar with, but it's basically saying that whatever we are waiting on to arrive, it's here.
Yay.
Typically referring to a person. Father says the eagle has landed.
Amen.
What you've been looking for, it's here now.
Amen.
Not for everybody, because some of us we're on different timetables and different scales, and in the strategy is God is moving us where we need to be. And some of us, honestly, like what Krista was sharing, we didn't hear the steps and the words, and so we had a real hard time you know, taking those steps because we didn't realize that's the way the Lord was trying to do it.
Yeah.
But for many of us, we've been working on this and going after this, and for many of us, it's the time where in God's strategy, the eagle has landed. It's here. It's for you now. And so be very encouraged and have a good, positive spirit right now. Last week, the Lord told me to tell you to stand. Just keep standing. And boy, I got the crud kicked out of me over the next 24 hours after I gave that word. I was like, I don't want to stand anymore. Yeah. But God says it's here. The eagle has landed. So this is your time to rise up and overcome and keep going on, because it's time. It's here now, right now. Amen. And so we bless you today, and we bless your week, and we ask you to fill up the comments below. We've been getting a lot of awesome interaction. Fill up the comments below. Let us know how these words are speaking to you, and we will talk to you next week.
And also, I just want to add to the end of that, we're still in Cape Coral, Florida. For those of you who are new to this YouTube channel, we are new to this area too. We've only been here for a month. We're still looking for a permanent housing situation, so please pray for our ministry and our family, since we have to be out of this house on December 24th. So we're not sure where we're going next, but we know God's got it planned out. So just pray for us. We're open
to anywhere in Florida, and we believe that the Lord has shown us that He has a house for us that is either going to be very affordable or is going to be, you know, someone let us stay somewhere for a period of time to get our work done and to continue to prepare for our move to Kitale, Kenya. And we'll be releasing another word on that here in a day or two, letting you know what another part of our plans for that. So God bless everybody. We look forward to talking to you soon.
Love you.
Hey everybody, Tom Shirley here from Throne Builders. Thank you so much for watching our video today. We would like you to subscribe to our channel so you can get notifications of further videos soon to come. And also would like to ask you to watch these videos when you get a chance. Like and comment below. We'll talk to you later. God bless everybody.